Welcome to FOMO Consulting for your daily AMC stock analysis video on Sunday, June 6th. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go over this week's battle plan, and we could possibly be looking at a large gamma squeeze this week or possibly next. And as always, the apes are winning, the diamond hands are winning, most importantly, the retail investor is winning. So if you find this video informative and entertaining, please like, share, certainly comment, and most importantly, subscribe. It is a newer channel, and I would appreciate the support. Let's get into the video. So most importantly, I want to thank everyone who has liked, shared, commented, and subscribed. Means the world to me. Thank you very much. So let's start with a quote. Beneath this mask, there is more than flesh. Beneath this mask, there is an idea. And ideas are bulletproof. We are being tested over the last few days with FUD articles, hit articles, you name it. They cannot shake our ideas because they are clearly bulletproof. So I want to start here based on that message. Psychological warfare has been going on for centuries. You can stop, pause, read this, but at the end of the day, the FUD articles are all psychologically driven. Keep in mind, our opponent employs and has on their staff psychologists, PhDs, you name it, all to look at the psychology of the market and the investor and how they can best gain an advantage. They are using this not only to influence your mindset, but also, let's just call it smarter money, I guess, since we're the dumb money, to try to get larger investors out of their positions as well as us. Again, they need our shares to cover, right? So take a moment and read this, but no doubt psych warfare is certainly going on today. So let's look at crypto. Crypto's looking pretty good this morning. Bitcoin's up just a little bit. Doge down just a little bit, but overall mixed, but not too terribly bad. Certainly stabilized, consolidating. Interesting to see how the week plays out. Quick review, AMC, I think we had a fantastic end of the week, albeit down at $47.91, down $3.68%. I personally think we are perfectly set up going into this week. Obviously, options were expiring. A lot of options expired in the money, but they were trying to keep as many out of the money as absolutely possible. Again, zooming out, on the 10-minute chart, you can certainly see where the RSI is an oversold. I believe we are due for a trend reversal starting tomorrow. Again, zooming out, 1-hour chart, MACD looks okay. RSI is in the bearish, but I think set for a reversal. Without a doubt, they certainly pressed us down over the last couple of days, but we needed to cool off and find a correction. So I think we're set up perfectly for tomorrow. Moving into the larger time frame on the daily, I believe this is more relevant simply because this is a buy and hold longer term play. We are not day trading AMC. So the alligator's mouth is wide open, moving averages moving up. MACD is certainly bullish. RSI has cooled off and we are coming back down to a more stable place, albeit still very much in bullish territory. The weekly candles, look how far we've come since the baby squeeze. Foregone conclusion seems like that was just a little blip on the radar now, right? So I believe the test, the first test, starting tomorrow will be to break around, let's just call it the $51 to $52 level. You can see how many times we actually tested that over pre-market, after hours, intraday over the last couple of days. We bounced, got rejected on several different occasions, but I believe we break the 51.50 level or so, possibly 52, and I believe we're quickly back up into the upper 50s, if not lower 60s. So quickly becoming a fan favorite, including mine, Charles Payne, on Fox Business tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll have Wes Christian as his special guest. Wes is a U.S. legal expert on naked short selling. hot topic these days, right? So make sure you tune in, support Charles. He is certainly supporting us. It's one of the few mainstream media voices that actually support what we're doing. So let's look here. AMC short sellers mauled, losing $2 billion in worst week of 2021. I just say good. Jeffries blocks short sales on GameStop, AMC, and Microvision. Good. AMC Entertainment trades limited by TD Ameritrade. Good. And yet another article, Bank of America, Citi, Goldman, among others, are now beginning to restrict short selling of AMC and other meme stocks, beginning effective immediately, as I'm understanding it. Feel free to do your own due diligence, but this is extraordinarily bullish for us. Market makers, the prime brokerages, big banks are now getting on board with the risk level. They are doing risk assessments. They clearly see after the rise next week, it is not in their best interest to loan these stocks to short sellers to hedge funds. And I believe we will see possibly, quite possibly, small margin calls, if not return shares yet again, causing possibly a small short squeeze, if not loosening the short selling pressure on AMC stock, allowing it to rise, and we could have a very, very bullish week. Again, Wall Street reins in hedge funds, bets on meme stocks. Feel free to read this, but overall, this article I think is very, very bullish. The measures may change the fortune of retail investors, lighting up Reddit message boards with their forays into day trading, which we are not day trading. Increased margin requirements could hasten the short squeezes small investors have been rushing to capitalize on. Good news. So, a couple good bullish catalysts that could occur this week. GameStop has its earnings on Wednesday after market close. If they exceed or at least meet expectations, that could be a huge catalyst, not only for GameStop, but certainly AMC and other quote-unquote meme stocks. This is going to be an extraordinarily interesting week based on that alone. The consumer inflation data will also be out, I believe, Thursday, which could yet again be a huge catalyst. If inflation concerns are, I guess, tempered, we could have a very, very good week, because again, we are linked to the broader market, right? So as it goes, sometimes we go. So if there is some good bullish sentiment around inflation concerns, that could further bolster AMC and others late week. So by now you've seen this. Memes galore throughout the internet. Cat's out of the bag. Face says it all. Expressions say it all. Picture speaks 1,000 words, right? So some may or may not know SEC now I guess is basically developing a settlement with Robinhood, $65 million for distribution, a plan for distribution based on their payment for order flow infractions going back many, many years. Feel free to look this up on SEC, do your own due diligence. But it's very interesting that SEC is cracking down and has made a decision on this. This just came out on the 4th, so it's a fairly new posting. Feel free to do your own due diligence. Speaking of legislation, we could very well see NSCC 2021-002 liquidity requirements be voted on and approved on June 21st. I find it highly ironic that there are so many $40 strike call options currently in the money and growing by the day, the week leading up to that, expiring on the 18th. I think it's somewhat ironic, right? So feel free to read this article as well, but we'll wait and see. Possibly the 21st could put in a very large piece of legislation we've been waiting on regarding liquidity requirements. So I want to show you just a quick side-by-side comparison about the secondary run-up from GME to the current AMC run-up we are experiencing now. So GME, before they ran up to close to $350 a share and kind of hovered in the 200, mid 200s that they are currently, certainly had its 100% day. We had our 95% day. They had followed up by an 18% day. We had a 22% day on Tuesday and then ran to our 95%. Followed up by a down day of 6%. Friday we did down 6%. Certainly we were corrected on Thursday, down almost 18%. But the Monday, after all of that heavy action, became a little more, let's just call it, sustainable run. GME on that following Monday, after that big pop, had an 18.34% day. My anticipation is we will be green tomorrow, quite possibly substantially. Mondays, and I'll show you very shortly, have historically been very good for us. We have a huge amount of contracts that expired in the money Friday. So again, it's just a side-by-side comparison. I believe we could possibly, if we have a relatively green week, have a chart very similar to GME on the left. So regarding GME, just incredible. Call options, the highest strike price currently is $580 per share, which I find to be extraordinary, but it may go higher. It'd be interesting to see if they extend the strike price, but certainly market makers are expecting a pretty big pop in GME as well as AMC. So I've done the side-by-side comparison. It was in yesterday's video, more in depth. I'll kind of gloss through it today, but you can certainly see in January, each and every week, and I broke this down by calendar day and by date, of the gains and losses by date. January is somewhat of an anomaly, albeit we were up 103%, right? So let's look at February. Again, a lot of fallout from the baby squeeze in late January, a lot of volatility. I don't really like to use this as a more traditional look at the stock. So let's start in March. So March, you can see where we kind of normalized like a normal stock at that point. In March, we averaged 9.31% on Mondays as an average over those 5 Mondays, green. And we also had green days on Thursdays. No doubt that was a lot of hedging due to market makers for options. I believe that is the reason. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays were either down or flat. That is the historical look at March. April, similar scenario on Mondays, up 5.4%. Certainly predictable, as you can see. Fridays, historically down due to options. So this past Friday is no big deal. So let's look at May. May was exceptionally bullish, but again, you look, Mondays are traditionally green. This past month, meaning in May, certainly just a fantastic month. We were up 27%. But if you recall, leading up to earnings on May 6th, we endured 8 straight red days. We actually bled down 24%. So the correction we had on Thursday and Friday, quite frankly, is no big deal. I would rather have the correction in 2 days than 8 straight red days again. So summarizing the daily averages over a 3-month period of time based on each and every trading day, Mondays have by far been the best for us at 6.57, followed up by Thursdays at 6.19, no doubt due to market makers hedging. Fridays have traditionally been down, and Tuesdays and Wednesdays are just kind of ebb and flow, right? We're a little flat, at least from an average standpoint. But I believe if we can start Monday and Tuesday out substantially green, no doubt they're going to try to hammer it down again. But all of these major bank institutions now limiting or completely stopping lending shares for shorting to the hedge funds for AMC, GME, and others. This could create a huge catalyst and really take a lot of the selling pressure off of this stock. So again, trend data, this will clean up Monday. It'll update. We'll see what it looks like if they're exiting in positions as Vortex would show with the return shares. We'll see what this looks like, but I'm certainly more bullish than ever. Vortex data, I've shown this multiple days. Multiple people are showing it. They returned 33 million shares, but we still have 110 million shares on loan. Again, this information would not tell you if they reborrowed those shares towards the end of the week when the stock price was going down. We would not know that yet. So I would expect possibly an increase in short interest tomorrow or Tuesday. But again, volume was really good at 320, and at the time of this recording, 1.7 million shares available on Fintel. The fee was 11.25, and again, like I said, about 110 million shares still on loan. So this is really, really important. So we had 185,000 contracts expire in the money on the call side, another 33,000 on the put side. Over 200,000 contracts expired in the money Friday. We are possibly going to have a lot of really bullish momentum going into tomorrow. Again, we have a history of really good green Mondays, and as a matter of fact, 4 of them over the last 14 trading weeks have been over 13%. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow to see what the week's going to look like, and hopefully we can initiate a gamma. So this is what this week looks like, and I'm drawing red lines just kind of at some key levels where there's quite a bit of open interest, at least currently. So we're right at the money for options expiring this Friday. If you look just at the $50 strike, there's 12,000 contracts that we could put in the money. We move up to 60, another 14,000 contracts, 70, nearly 14,000. So you get the drift, but we've already got a ton of contracts in the money that, have been bought. But this is exceptionally bullish, and no doubt this will fill in as the week goes on. People, obviously buy, bring in new sales. A lot of volume, I think, will come in this week. But I'm probably most bullish about next week. You've got, just at the $40 strike, you have almost 140,000 contracts currently in the money, most of which I do not believe have been hedged for. So they may wait for next week. They may start this week. We don't know that. $50 is another nearly 22,000 just at that level. And you can see, and the list goes on and on. We could very well initiate a huge gamma squeeze, if not this week, certainly next week, just by staying, say, around the upper 40s or maybe even 50. It's just absolutely incredible just at that $40 strike. There's already nearly 140,000 contracts, and no doubt that will likely increase as the week goes on. So let's end with a quote. There is no achievement without risk. Very famous NASA Mission Control Director Gene Kranz over the Apollo missions and many others, certainly oversaw the Apollo 13 missions. We're all aware of the risk, and if not, please do your own due diligence. Educate yourself. Certainly not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But, the hit pieces of psychological warfare would make you believe that it's going to zero tomorrow. I think we all know better than that, and will certainly be mindful, but make your own decisions and certainly be wise about them. But again, education, knowledge, and facts are the key here. So I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you for watching, and as always, I hope your life is full of green candles. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.